This is Letter to Sons. I'm Doug Keating. Time for another special edition video. Just like the last one, I will be talking about the game of football, aka soccer. In this video, I'm going to share 3 innovative ideas I've come up with that I think will make the game better for all of us. I believe many football fans will appreciate the ideas I've come up with and may even agree with some of them. However, I will give a warning to what I would describe as old school fans. You like the game the way it used to be played and you don't want to change anything. If that's you, you're probably not going to like this video. Wondering if you fall into this category? If you do not appreciate the fact that the number of subs was changed after the pandemic and are already still pissed off about that, you're probably not going to like some of my ideas. Some of you are probably wondering, why should I care about the opinion of this stupid American? He's probably some Ted Lasso watching Ryan Reynolds Wrexham kind of fan. That's not me. The sport I watch the most is football, aka soccer. I played the game growing up. My dad coached, both my sons played, and I go to matches for sure. Here you see pictured my son and I, there I am, at a Southampton game last season. That's how committed I was as a fan. I went to a Southampton game. They finished bottom of the table. In case you're wondering how I ended up a Southampton fan, check out the last video I posted where I explained how I pick our new Premier League team every year to support. You heard that right. I change my team every year. Let me start on a positive note by sharing 5 things I love about the game of football. First, matches tend to last less than 2 hours. Some other sports go longer, and I tend to get bored. I think it's even worse for young fans. Second, it is the world's most popular sport. Just watch the madness that happens every 4 years for the World Cup. Third, football fans are passionate. If you don't believe me, go to a match outside the US and you will learn how passionate fans are. Fourth, there are some great rivalries in football, whether it's Man City versus Manchester United, the Merseyside Derby, Liverpool versus Everton, or El Clasico, Barcelona versus Real Madrid. Love the rivalries. And last, teams have to perform to stay in the league. You can be promoted in, and worse, you can be relegated out. So if you have an awful year, you are not staying in the league. When I think about the modern game of football, there are several problems I see. For this video, I've narrowed my list to the top 3 I will talk about. Number 1, and most important, there's not enough goals. Number 2, there's some confusion about the rules, and offside is maddening these days. And number 3, there's too many tied games. What's worse than sitting through a match and it ends 0-0? Let's talk about how do you solve the problem of not enough goals. Solution number 1, you add more penalty kicks to the game, also known as PKs. Anybody familiar with the sport knows the easiest way to score a goal is from the penalty kick spot. Great, more penalty kicks, Doug. How do you implement this? What you do is if the game gets to halftime and it's 0-0, you allow each team to take 1 penalty kick. Let's face it, the fans have already sat through an entire half with no scoring. Give them a chance to at least watch a penalty kick. I think this is a brilliant idea and will keep people in their seats all the way through the end of the first half. Let's talk about problem number 2, which is the offside rule. It is confusing for me, and I've played the game and watched a ton of it. If you're a new fan, it's hard to wrap your head around this rule. I'm not going to go into all the nuances about the rule. Instead, I will generally describe how it works. When you are played the ball on offense, there are supposed to be 2 players from the opposing team between you and the goal. Generally, one of those is the goalie. The reason this rule was created was to prevent cherry pickers, like this guy on the red team, from hanging up by the goal, waiting for a pass, and then kind of slam dunking it into the back of the net. There's a lot of nuance, and the challenge nowadays is many goals are nullified because offside is called, players are confused, fans are confused, and it just is not good for the game. Many football leagues have tried to tackle the problem of offside using automation. I believe this has only added to the confusion. Technology is used like what you see on the screen to determine if the offensive player is in front of the defensive player. Take a look. In this case, the call is offside because the arm of the offensive player is in front of the defensive player. Now think about that for a second. In football, you can't even use your arms, yet it's a body part that can make you offsides. That is nonsense to me. What's happening is that players aren't sure if they should celebrate after they score. Neither are fans. The ref has to go to the VAR and make a determination, slowing up the game. There's got to be a better solution than having your arm or your toe make you offsides. Lean towards more goals, call offsides less. Come on, people. Before you start thinking I'm some old fart that's anti-automation, computers are dangerous, I'm not. I work in high tech, for goodness sake. What I think needs to change is there needs to be a common point of reference for the player when comparing the positions. For example, you could use where the badge is on the jersey, put a chip there, or somewhere in the shorts along the waistline where the belly button is. 1 point for each player, and that's all you're going to compare, not body part by body part. Time to show my American bias, and that is when talking about problem number 3, which is too many tie games. The solution is simple: no more tie games. I'm going to quote the great philosopher Ted Lasso, who said, "Ties and no playoffs? Why do you even do this?" I actually think he's onto something here. If your two teams play, you should know who won at the end of the game, not walk away thinking, 2-2, we tied. Great idea, right? How do you implement it? If the game ends in a tie, you go straight to a shootout. I love a football shootout. They are super exciting. Now, some of you are probably thinking, what about extra time? Probably not practical because so many games end in ties. Just go straight to the shootout. It'll add excitement to the game, and fans can get into watching their team score at least a few goals during the shootout. And you're going to know who won at the end, which is probably most important. Some of you convinced I've already lost my mind. Let me add a few more details, hopefully proving otherwise. Got to deal with the point situation. In this case, if you win a tie game via shootout, you do not get 3 points, you would get 2 points. If you lose the shootout, you would still get 1 point. I actually think this point system would help add excitement in many leagues. And the goals scored during the shootout would not count towards statistics. Hopefully you like the 3 ideas I came up with. As I mentioned earlier in the video, there's a lot of problems with the current game. Here are 3 I do not have great solutions for. Number 1, there's too many games. Players are getting injured way too often because of all the games. 2, another rule that causes a lot of confusion is handball, especially in the penalty box. And 3, too many players are wasting time, whether it's corner kicks, throw-ins, goal kicks, you name it, lollygagging all over. Refs need to do something to avoid players wasting time. If you're still watching, thanks for hanging in there. Enough of my ideas. Let me ask you, what are your ideas for making the beautiful game even better? The game that we all love could use some improvements. Feel free to post something in the comments. Let me know if you hate what I've suggested or you have better ideas for how to make the beautiful game of football even better.